see the different departments and how they link. The food and beverage manager will have the restaurant manager and the catering manager both reporting to him. Okay? And then likewise you have a larger organisation with a wide span of control. Wide span of control with 11, do you understand? Because it's more complicated. It's a larger organisation because he can't deal with it all himself. So he has to allow, the assistant general manager has to allow the front office manager to get on and do his task. Because he can't be there doing all those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have some other examples in here of different positions of a different sized hotel. So here, to give you some examples, housekeeper, controller, maintenance groundkeeper, front office manager, then you have, they report to the general manager and then the corporate owner. Okay? So here are these slides are to give you examples of the different departments within different size hotels. Okay? And further on in these slides, the slides explain what's involved in different departments. For example, it shows you that the hotel division is made up of various things, includes the room division, sales and marketing, accounts, security, human resources. And then it tells you about different departments. Food and beverage staff. You've got the restaurant manager, head waiter, wine butler, food and beverage attendant, bar attendant, drinks waiter, and others. Front office staff. These would include people like the front office manager, reservations manager, group reservations and sales agents, reception manager, guest service attendant, night manager, night auditor, concierge. So, which all come under the front office manager. So how does all this relate to the question? Discuss different organisational structures in relation to different... Let's go back to the question. So discuss the organisational structure of different hospitality organisations. So obviously you need to talk about the different organisational structures. Different organisational structures in terms of whether they have... what's the purpose of the organisational structure? You need to talk about if it has a wide span of control or a narrow span of control and the benefits of these. You have to talk about if it has a tall hierarchical structure or a flat hierarchical structure and the benefit of these. After you've done that, in about 150 words, we're looking to then choose two UK companies, and the case study wants you to choose two companies in London, of hospitality organisations or companies. They can be hotels, restaurants, concierge, and that way you can then focus on those. But then what must you do? You must link them to the structures and say, you must choose two companies, and then in your research you must say, what structure do these companies have? And you must give the organisational structure, and then you must state, is it a flat structure? Is it a tall structure? Does it have a wide span of control? Does it have a narrow span of control? And then you need to explain or discuss some of the departments in that organisational structure. So the front office department, or the kitchen staff, or the food and beverage department. What does that entail? What does that include? So explain in each of the organisations at least two different departments. Okay, so anyone tell me two companies they came up with? Tell me one company you came up with.
Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn. Okay, doesn't matter. Holiday Inn. So what's your organisational structure?
So is that tall one?
1 second, please. What's your organisational structure? It's a tall structure. And it says tall structure. Is it a wide span of control? Narrow span of control? It's going to be more of a narrow span of control. You can count the number. How do you work out the span of control? The number of people who report in to the director.
the layers, isn't it?
Yes, the number of layers.
And we put two.
Okay, so you need to say, hold on 1 second please. You need to say if it has a wide span of control or narrow span of control, and you need to see if it has a tall structure or wide or flat structure. You need to say that, do you understand? And then you need to explain that organisational structure and the benefits it has, as you saw the benefits on the slides. And then you need to then do what? Explain 2 different departments in that organisational structure. So, tell me about your organisational structure of Holiday Inn. Explain it to me. What does it have at the top?
Okay, the general manager,
Yes.
and after will be if will be absent the general manager, will take the place executive secretary.
Okay. But who reports in to the general manager? You understand? You need to explain who are the people that report into the general manager.
Human resource.
Human resources. So tell me all the people who report in. You should have it on there.
Okay. The controller.
Yes.
Resident manager.
Yes.
Director of sales and marketing.
Yes.
Food and beverage.
Yes.
Chef engineer.
Yes.
Front office manager.
Okay.
Executive housekeeper. Reservation.
They all report into the general manager.
No.
No. Who reports in to the general manager?
The executive secretary.
Okay. But who else reports into him?
Resident
Okay. So you're going to need to explain. You're going to need to explain. You can't just write down the graph and put the graph in there. You have to discuss it. You have to explain it. You'd say, oh, here's the general manager. But general manager, all these people report into the general manager. They don't go to his secretary. His secretary doesn't control them. It's the general manager that controls them. He has a secretary helping him. But all these people here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, reports into the general manager. And then these people, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, who's got another company, please?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Tell me the organisational structure, please.
It is quite wide, 5 departments under general manager,
Yeah.
and it's quite tall as well, I think.
Yes.
And they have marketing director and human resource director, chef operating
Good.
officers, customer care manager, and
Good.
have finance. That all.
And it's a tall structure, so it's a narrow structure. How many people reports into the general manager?
5.
5. See, that span of control is only 5. So that's quite narrow span of control. And with many different layers underneath. So you would explain that structure, yes?
Yeah.
But the question asks for organisation, so you can't just explain one structure. You have to explain how many structures, how many companies? 2. You have to explain at least 2 companies. So after you've explained that company and the structure and 2 departments, you would explain another one. Because you need to explain 2. So once you get the graph, you must explain it. You must discuss it. It has a tall structure, wide structure, 5 width span of control, or how many of it has, and the layers underneath that, and what it actually does. Does that make sense? Someone else want to give me one more, please? Anyone? Give me a company. Anyone else done anything?
I did the Holiday Inn.
You did the Holiday Inn as well. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so is everyone happy with this then? Do you think you can answer this question? The first thing you need to do is to review different organisational structures. The second thing you need to do is to come up with 2 hospitality organisations or businesses. In this instance, we're talking about the businesses in London. And thirdly, you need to state with those businesses, discuss the organisational structures it has. Wide span, narrow span, tall structure, flat structure. And then explain a few departments. Explain it. Explain your charts. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think you can write 300 words and all these?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Okay. Thank you very much today for that. And I will upload this on your online class by next week. Okay? Thank you.
Now.